Hey everybody, Jackie here. This is going to be a slow to moderate paced practice in which we work with strengthening the deep core and looking for stabilization for the pelvis and the spine. If you have a couple of yoga blocks at home, that will be helpful. So if you've got 2 blocks, grab hold of those. If you don't, 1 block still useful. If you don't have any blocks at all, use a throw pillow or like a blanket or towel that you can roll up in the general width of a block, like this kind of width. We're going to get started on our backs. Keep the props nearby, but you can allow yourself to come to lay down with the soles of your feet planted and your knees standing up towards the ceiling. Take a few moments with your eyes closed. Your arms can rest alongside your body, or you can lay your hands over the belly and the rib cage. And just begin to feel the ebb and flow of your breath. Noticing the lifting, the rising, and the expansiveness that comes when you inhale. And noticing the release of the chest, the ribs, and the belly that occurs with your exhale. Starting to familiarize yourself with that rhythm to your breath. And seeing if you can gradually start to shift into a more conscious breathing pattern where you make the inhale a little bit deeper and you make the exhale a little bit slower. The breath will become a bit longer than your natural breath. And you try to breathe in and out through the nostrils as much as possible. When you're inhaling, your ribs should expand and the diaphragm naturally descends. It moves down into the abdominal cavity, which is what causes the belly to inflate, to kind of bow outwards. Now, when you exhale, your ribs will narrow, your diaphragm will move back up into the rib cage, and you'll feel the belly come back in. And we're going to try to exaggerate the process a little bit, inhaling and allowing that expansiveness to happen as the diaphragm descends. Now, when we exhale and the diaphragm moves up, see if you can draw your navel towards your spine, pressing the breath out. Okay, again, like that, when you inhale, feel your diaphragm descending, feel your ribs expanding. And then when you exhale, picture your outer waist pulling in towards midline as your navel pulls to your spine and the diaphragm moves up into the ribs. And again, like that, inhale and expand. Exhale, outer waist pulls in, navel pulls to spine, diaphragm pulls up. And then layering on a little bit more. When you inhale, feel the expansiveness. The diaphragm descends, the pelvic floor can also descend and kind of broaden a bit. And then when you exhale, draw your navel to your spine and try to imagine your pelvic floor pulling up and in, like your sitting bones are moving towards one another and your pubic bone and tailbone are moving towards one another at the base of your pelvis. Again, as you inhale, find expansion. Exhale and see if you can pull the pelvic floor up and in and draw the navel to the spine. And one more like that. Inhale, expand. Exhale and pull the navel in as you draw the pelvic floor up. Great. And now grabbing hold of the block, we're going to take it between the inner thighs. If you don't have a block, you can use the throw pillow or the towel or blanket or whatever you've got that you can roll up in the general width of a block. So when we place it between the thighs, the knees should still end up about hip width apart. Okay. And then you can take the hands just beneath your lower back, kind of like wedging your fingers into that little crevice beneath your lower back. And we're going to hug the thighs towards that prop that we've got between. And inhale, let the ribs expand. Let there be that indentation in your lower back, which is the natural shape of your spine, a concave shape of your spine. And then when we exhale, we're going to try to press the lower back towards the hands or towards the floor as we draw the navel in and try to engage the pelvic floor. And again, like that, inhale and let there be an indentation in your lower back. So there's lots of space between your lower back and the floor, and you feel you can slip the hands underneath. And then exhale, try to imagine you are going to eliminate that space as you push your lower back into your hands. Draw your navel in and squeeze your thighs to the block as you engage the pelvic floor. Okay, again, like that, inhale and expand. Let the lower back indent. Exhale and flatten your lower back towards the floor, towards the hands as you squeeze the thighs to the block, draw the navel in, engage your pelvic floor. Okay, and then gently release the hands from underneath you, and you can now place the hands on your outer hips or like the pelvis. And we're again going to let the inhalation create expansion through the ribs, lower back can indent, squeeze your thighs into the block. Exhale, draw the navel in, flatten your back into the floor, pressing it down as you squeeze the thighs to the block and engage the pelvic floor. Again, inhale and expand. Picture your ribs expanding out to the sides laterally. Exhale, picture your ribs narrowing, the outer waist pulling towards midline, navel to the spine, squeeze the thighs to the block and flatten your back. Again, like that, inhale and expand, imagining the ribs can expand 360 degrees, front, back, and sides. Exhale, ribs narrow, picture the outer waist pulling to midline, flatten the back, draw the navel in, engage the pelvic floor, and squeeze your thighs into that block. Great, now inhale, come to neutral. And see if you can allow there to be a subtle indentation in your lower back, but nothing super dramatic. So see if you can position your pelvis in such a way where you might be able to slip your fingers under the lower back, but not your whole hand. So not too dramatic of an indentation in the lower spine, not too dramatic of a tilt in the pelvis. We're going to remove the block from between the thighs, but try to keep your pelvis, your legs, your lower spine all stationary and stable. Now, allow the feet to come up so that the knees are still bent. The knees are kind of over your hips. And again, let there be a subtle indentation in your lower back, but nothing too dramatic. Maybe you can slip your fingers under, but not the whole hand, or just kind of the fingertips. As you inhale, let your ribs expand. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, picture the outer waist pulling in, and allow the pelvic floor to engage. Again, inhale, let ribs expand. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up, outer waist narrowing in. One more like that, inhale, ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages, outer waist narrows in towards midline. Then point your toes, inhale, hands can be on your hips. Exhale, keep the pelvis stationary and just lightly tap the right toes down with the knee bent. Inhale, bring your right knee back up. Keep the pelvis stationary and exhale, lightly tap the left toes down with the knee still bent. Inhale, bring the knee back up. Try not to let your lower back indent more when you do this. Exhale, lightly tap the right toes down. Don't let your lower back indent. Push it lightly down, navel to spine. Inhale and bring the knee up. Exhale, tap the left toes down. Don't let your lower back indent too much. Draw the navel to the spine. Inhale and bring the knee up. Exhale, lightly tap the right toes down, keeping your pelvis neutral. Inhale and bring the knee up. Exhale, lightly tap left toes down. Keep the pelvis neutral, navel coming in. Inhale and bring the knee up. Exhale, now place your left palm on your left thigh just above the knee. Push the knee into the palm while the palm is pushing to the foot. Inhale. Exhale, you can tap your right toes down, navel to spine, or for a greater challenge, send the right leg straight with your foot hovering. And then inhale and bring the knee back in. Exhale, tap the toes down or send the leg straight. Keep the pelvis neutral, navel to spine. Inhale and bring the knee back in. One more time, exhale, navel to spine. You can send the leg straight or tap the toes down. Inhale and bring it back in. Exhale, right palm to the right thigh, just above the knee. Push the palm into the knee while the knee is pushing into the palm. Left hand can come to left hip. Inhale. Navel to spine as you tap the toes down. Exhale, or send the leg straight in front of you for a greater challenge. Inhale, bring it back in. Navel to spine. Exhale, tap the toes down or send the leg straight. Let it hover. Keep the pelvis neutral. Inhale and bring it back in. Exhale, you can tap the toes down or send the leg straight in front of you. Keep the pelvis neutral. Don't let the low back indent. Inhale and bring it back in. And then exhaling, take the arms around the legs and gently draw your knees in close to your body. Notice how your lower back flattens when you pull the legs in close. Take a full inhale, expand your ribs 360 degrees. And a long exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine. Another inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up and in. One more like that, inhale. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up. Gently release your feet down for a moment. Take the block between the thighs once again, or whatever you're going to use in place of the block. Let your feet be hip width, toes straight ahead. Start to squeeze your thighs into the block. Let your pelvis be neutral. There's a slight indentation in the low back, but nothing too dramatic. And as you inhale, lift the pelvis and roll up towards a bridge with the block between the thighs. Exhale and hug your thighs towards the block. Push your heels down and out. Ground into your big toes. Take a full breath in. And a long breath out. Hug the thighs in, but imagine you're trying to pull your feet apart. Another full breath in. And a long breath out, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. And gently release yourself down, inhale. Remove the block from between the thighs, but keep your feet where they are. Exhale, slipping the block off to the side. We're just gonna hover the left foot, keeping the knee bent. Push into your right foot, inhale. See if you can lift the pelvis in a single leg bridge. Stabilize your right leg so your right knee is not wavering all around. Keep the knee directly above your ankle. Inhale. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. Take another breath in, ribs expand 360 degrees. And a long breath out, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up. Gently release the pelvis, inhale, and set the left foot down, exhale. Hover your right foot, knee can remain bent, and inhale, push through the left foot, lift the pelvis. Single leg bridge, exhale, stabilize the left knee over the left ankle. Try not to let the knee waver around. Take a full breath in, ribs expand 360 degrees. And a long breath out, draw navel in and engage the pelvic floor. Another inhale. Exhale, picture the outer waist narrowing in towards midline, like you're gathering the outer waist towards the navel center. Inhale, and exhale, release the pelvis down and set the right foot down. Inhale, draw your knees in. And exhale, gentle rock from side to side. You can roll to your side and push up, or if it feels okay for you, you can rock forward. And we'll crawl on out to the hands and the knees. We're going to come to a tabletop, so you can bring your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. If you like, you can slip the block between the thighs again, or whatever you're using in place of the block. And that can be a nice tool to get your adductors to turn on. The adductors often work in tandem with the pelvic floor. So if you're working on strengthening the pelvic floor, which can provide a lot more stability for the pelvic region and the lower spine. Block can be a very helpful tool when placed between the thighs. Hug the thighs slightly in and inhale, lift the tailbone, extend the spine, taking cow pose. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, flex your spine to move to cat pose. So similar to the pelvic tilting you did when you were lying down. Inhale, lift the tailbone, extend the spine, cow pose. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, flex the spine for cat. Few more rounds, inhaling, lifting tailbone. Exhaling, rounding the back, curl the tailbone under. One more, inhale, let your ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, draw your navel in, picture the outer waist narrowing towards midline. And then come to neutral, inhale. Remove the block if you're using it, exhale. Hover your right knee over the mat for a moment. Keep the spine and pelvis neutral. And inhale, start to bring the right leg back with the knee bent. Exhale, let your right knee come back down to hover alongside the left. Inhale, bring the right knee back. Knee is bent. Exhale, and let the right knee hover alongside the left. Keep the pelvis and spine stable. Inhale and bring it back. Exhale, navel to spine as you let the knee descend. Now inhale and bring your right knee out to the right. Keep pelvis and spine neutral. And exhale, let the right knee hover alongside the left. Inhale, right knee out to the right. Exhale, navel to spine. Outer waist narrows in as it comes down. One more, inhale and bring it open. Exhale, navel to spine. Pelvic floor engages as you lower it back down. Set the right knee down. Hover your left knee and inhale, bring the left leg back, keeping the knee bent, sole of the foot will face upwards. And exhale, let the left knee come to hover alongside the right. Inhale and bring the left knee back. Exhale and let the left knee come down to hover alongside the right. One more, inhale and bring the knee back. Keep the spine nice and neutral. And exhale, let it come down. Now inhale, bring your left knee to the left. Try not to let your pelvis and your torso shift around, and exhale, lower it to meet the right. Inhale and bring left knee out to the left. Exhale, lower it alongside the right. One more, inhale and bring it out to the left. And exhale, navel to spine as you bring it back down, setting left knee down to meet the right. Inhale, take your right leg back straight and point the toes. Exhale and stabilize your pelvis. Look for neutrality through the spine. Right side of the pelvis is not higher than the left side. Stay here or inhale, start to circle your right foot, keeping your pelvis stable. You're not moving the pelvis or the torso, just shifting the thigh bone and the hip socket. Exhale, you can switch the direction of those circles, keeping the circles small or making them bigger, which is going to be a bit more challenging. And then inhaling, finding stillness with the leg. Exhale, pull the knee in close and step your right foot towards your right hand. Bring your right knee over your right ankle. Hands are going to frame the right foot on the floor or the blocks. If the floor feels kind of far, you can use blocks and inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw the navel in as you round your back. Inhale, lengthen and let your ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale as you round, scoop the belly in, try to engage your pelvic floor. One more, inhale, expand, ribs drawing outwards laterally, and exhale as you round, draw the navel in, engage the pelvic floor. And then stay here for a moment, or for a greater challenge, inhale, reach the left arm forward. Feel the right side of your body turn on more. Push into your right heel and exhale, try to engage your right waist as you carve the right waist back. Stay here, inhale, or lean gently to your right. Doesn't have to be too dramatic. Left arm reaching, you'll expand the left low back, exhale. Picture your right waist carving in and back. Inhale. Navel in, pelvic floor engages, exhale. When you come to center, transfer the hands to your right thigh and inhale, press the right thigh forward as you scoop the tailbone slightly under and lean back. Stay here, reach the arms up, inhale. Stay here, bring right hand to right hip and lean to your right exhale, looking for the stretch to the left psoas, front of your left hip. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. One more inhale, push through your foundation, right foot and left leg ground. Long exhale, navel to spine, outer waist pulls in towards midline. Come to center, inhale, and release the hands, exhale. Let your right knee come back to meet your left. Inhale and find a neutral tabletop, ground through both hands, exhale, fingers wide. Keeping your spine and your pelvis neutral, send your left leg back straight, pointing the toes. Staying here, keeping pelvis neutral, left hip no higher than the right, or inhale and circle your left foot. Let the thigh bone rotate within the hip socket. Exhale, keeping your torso still, keeping your arms strong and straight, and then maybe switching the directions of the circles. Feeling that you're awakening the muscles of the hip. Inhale and exhale. Finding stillness with the leg, inhale, and then pulling the knee in close to step your left foot forward, exhale. Hands can be on the blocks if you need. Left knee should be directly over left ankle. Inhale, lengthen the spine, expand the ribs. Exhale, round the back, scoop the belly in, engage the pelvic floor. Inhale and lengthen, open the chest. Exhale and round, draw your navel in, let the outer waist pull towards midline. One more inhale. And then round your back, exhale. Stay rounded, holding this position, engaging through the front of your body, or for a greater challenge, reach your right arm forward, inhale. Feel the left side of the body work more now. Push into your left heel and see if you can feel your left waist engage as you push the ground away from you and scoop your belly in. Exhale, remain where you are, or add a little side bend to your left, right hand reaching over in towards the left so that you're expanding your right low back. Take a full breath in. Picture the outer waist narrowing towards midline, navel in, long breath out. One more breath in. And a long breath out. When you come to center, you can take the hands to your left thigh. Inhale to rise up. Stay here or reach the arms up. Exhale, stay here or take left hand to left hip and lean to your left as though you're lifting the right waist out of the right side of the pelvis. Looking for the stretch in the hip flexor muscles, front of the hip, including the psoas. Full breath in, ribs expand. And long breath out. And gently come to center, inhale, and hands come down, exhale. Shift your left knee back to meet your right so that you return to a neutral table. Inhale, and then tuck your toes, lift your knees, and press to downward facing dog, exhale. You can imagine you've got the block between the thighs once again here. Make sure your toes are straight ahead, not turning out to the sides. Roll your thighs slightly in as though you were hugging towards that block. Let your kneecaps be directed straight ahead. Inhale. Pushing the feet down, and you can imagine you're pulling the feet apart. Exhale. Full breath in. And a long breath out. Good. And then come up on the toes. Inhale, shift forward to a plank. Bring your shoulders above your wrists and find a straight line from the head to the heels. Draw the navel in, outer waist pulls to midline. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale and press back, downward facing dog. Great, and then inhale, come up on the toes, walk your feet forward, exhale, and bring the feet towards the hands. Take as many steps as you need, and once the feet arrive, you can bring them hip width apart. You can imagine you've got the block between the thighs again, or you can place it there if it's pretty handy. Allow your hands to come to your legs, and inhale, lengthen the spine, roll the thighs slightly in, push the heels down and out. Exhale and fold. Letting the hands release down, let the head release down. Transfer some weight to the forefoot if you feel like all of your weight is collapsing into your heels. Inhale. Navel to spine, outer waist pulls towards midline. Exhale. One more like that. Inhale, ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, outer waist draws into midline, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up. If you've got the block between the thighs, you can remove it. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, navel in, hands to hips. Inhale, reach the sitting bones to the earth, pulling yourself upright. Exhale, feet can stay hip width, arms alongside you, or you can step your feet together if it feels accessible. Inhale, reach the arms over your head. Exhale and fold forward. Let your hands come towards your legs or down to the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw the chest forward. Exhale, hands on the floor or grab the blocks and step your right foot back. We're going to pause here. Let your right foot slide back as far as it will go. Inhale, left knee over left ankle. Work on bringing your left thigh about parallel to the floor if it's possible. Exhale, navel to spine. Pull the pelvic floor muscles up and in. Pause here and take another inhale. Exhale, outer waist pulls to midline, navel pulls to spine. One more inhale. Push out through both feet. Exhale, navel to spine, outer waist pulls in. And then inhaling, you can keep hands on blocks or let them be on the floor. Step left foot back, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up on the toes. Exhale, walk your feet forward. Bring the feet close to the hands and inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll your thighs in towards each other as you fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Now step your left foot back. Exhale and try to slide the foot back as far as it will go. Knee over the ankle. Let your pelvis descend as much as it's willing, like you're working on bringing the right thigh parallel to the floor now as much as the hips permit that. Let the hands frame the right foot on the floor of the blocks. Inhale and pause here, expand your ribs. Exhale, navel to spine, engage your pelvic floor. Inhale, reach out through both feet, engaging your legs. Exhale, imagine the outer waist pulling towards midline as the pelvic floor engages, navel pulls to spine. One more breath in. And a long breath out. Hands can be on the blocks or the floor. Inhale and step your right foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. And a long breath out. Great, and then inhale up on the toes. Exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach the arms up. Exhale, release the hands. And we're going to try to move towards a sun salutation now. If it's possible for you to do this without the blocks, just lift them off to the side. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale and fold all the way forward, hands towards the legs or reaching down to your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Bend the knees enough to put your hands down shoulder distance. Exhale, step your right foot all the way back like we just did, left knee over left ankle. Go long with the stance if you can. And then inhale, step your left foot to meet your right so you're in plank. Exhale, put your knees down, draw your navel in, pull the outer waist towards midline, and then start to bend the elbows to come to your belly. Once you've come down, point your toes, push the tops of your feet down, inhale and lift the chest gently, cobra pose. Exhale, gently releasing from that, push into the hands, draw the ground away from you, tuck toes, lift knees, downward facing dog pose. Okay, now inhale, come up on your toes, pull the right knee close to the body and step the foot as far forward as it will go. Exhale. Then step the left foot forward. If the feet didn't reach the hands, take another step. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, rise up and reach the arms overhead. Exhale, release the hands down. Okay, other leg is going to lead the way now. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Exhale and fold forward, hands meet the legs or all the way to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine about parallel to the floor. Now bend your knees enough to bring fingertips down. If the whole palm can come down, go for it. And step your left foot all the way back. Slide the foot back as far as it'll go. So you take a nice long stance, right knee over right ankle. Then inhale, step your right foot to meet your left. Push the floor away from you, plank. Knees can come down. Exhale, navel in. Outer waist pulls towards midline as you lower your body with control. And then point your toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Could be a low cobra, or you can come up higher. Exhale, press the weight back as you tuck the toes. Lift the knees, downward facing dog. Okay, come up on the toes. Inhale and step your left foot forward as you pull the knee in. Exhale, right foot forward. If the feet didn't quite reach, take another step. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach the arms up. Exhale and release the hands down. Lovely. Bring your hands to your hips. Step out with the right foot. We'll face the right edge of the mat, longer edge of the mat. Angle your left toe slightly in and turn your right toes to the back of your mat. Inhale, bring your arms open parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend the right knee over your right ankle so you're in warrior two for just a moment. Pause here and inhale, expand your ribs 360 degrees, front, back, and sides. Exhale, draw the navel in. Picture your outer waist pulling towards midline. Take another breath like that. Inhale and expand 360 degrees. Exhale, navel pulls in towards center. One more inhale. Outer waist narrows to midline. Exhale. And then draw your right leg straight. Inhale, avoid hyperextending your knee. Exhale, tip to your right, navel to spine as you descend into it. Right hand to the right leg, left arm reaches for triangle pose. Trikonasana. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale, push through both feet, draw navel in. Inhale, draw the ground away from you through your feet as the ribs expand. Exhale, pelvic floor activates, navel pulls to spine. One more breath in. And a long breath out. And then picture your sitting bones reaching to the earth, your outer waist pulling to midline. Let that pull you up. Inhale, so your trunk comes up as your pelvis shifts back to center. Exhale and rebend your right knee. Inhale, bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Exhale, left arm over the left temple, extended side angle. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, picture outer waist pulling towards midline, navel towards the spine. Again, inhale, expand. Push through both feet, exhale, navel to spine, outer waist pulls into midline. One more, inhale, legs are active. Exhale. Rise up, inhale, arms parallel to the floor. Straighten right leg, exhale, turn right toes in. Turn left toes out to the front of your mat, inhale. Bend your left knee over your left ankle, warrior two. Exhale, pause here. Inhale, let ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale and picture the outer waist pulling towards midline, navel towards the spine. Again, like that, inhale, ribs expand, push through both feet. Exhale, left knee draws open towards pinky toe side of foot as you draw navel in and lift pelvic floor up and in. One more breath in. Pelvic floor pulls up, navel in, long breath out. Inhale and draw the left leg straight, but avoid hyperextending the knee. And exhale, start to tip the torso and the pelvis gently off to the left. Left hand meets the left leg and right arm stacks. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, outer waist pulls to midline, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, outer waist pulls to midline, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. One more inhale, push through both feet. Exhale. Pushing down to come up, reach sitting bones to the earth. Inhale, let pelvis come up as torso comes up. Exhale and rebend the left knee. Extended side angle, inhale, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm over the right temple. Utthita Parshvakonasana, exhale, lean back. Breathing in. Navel in, breathing out. Breathing in, push through both feet. Breathing out, sitting bones towards each other, pelvic floor engages. One more breath in. As you breathe out, imagine tailbone moving towards pubic bone beneath you, pelvic floor engages. And inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to hips. Step forward with your right foot. Join your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the knees enough to plant your hands. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Okay, setting up for a pigeon. If you want to do this on your back, come to your back. Otherwise, lift your right leg up, inhale. Bend the right knee, flex the foot, exhale. Bring the right knee behind your right wrist, inhale. Lower your pelvis down, exhale. Left leg is straight behind you, toes point, inhale. When you feel ready, you can walk your hands out, exhale, and let your head relax down. If this does not feel accessible, feels a little too intense, you can come to your back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Keeping the foot flexed, you can start to draw the legs in if it feels possible. Look for the stretch in the right outer hip, buttocks area. Inhale, expand the ribs 360 degrees. Exhale and picture the outer waist narrowing in as the navel pulls to the spine. Again, like that. Inhale and expand. Exhale and outer waist narrows in towards midline. Another breath in. And then a long breath out. And then inhale to rise up. Exhale, step to downward facing dog. If you're on your back, stay on your back for the other side. Inhale, pick the left leg up. Exhale, bend the left knee and flex the foot. Left knee behind your left wrist. Inhale, lower your shin, lower your pelvis. Keep your left foot flexed. Right leg is straight behind you, toes point. Exhale, walk the hands out and fold into it. You can always wedge a prop underneath the buttocks if you need. If you're on your back, left ankle crosses over the right thigh, legs start to hug in. Inhale and ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, navel pulls towards spine, outer waist narrows to midline. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale and picture pelvic floor activating, pulling up and in as navel pulls to spine. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, imagine you're gathering the muscles in the front center of the body. And inhale and gently rise. Exhale, step to down dog, or if you are on your back, unwind legs, hug knees in. We'll come to meet in a seated position. So making your way there, the legs can extend out straight in front of you, feet can flex. See if you can feel the sitting bones making contact with your mat, rooting down. If you can't really feel that, it might help if you elevate yourself. You can sit on a blanket, a cushion, a pillow, and see if you can tilt the pelvis in such a direction or such a way that you are feeling a subtle indentation in your lower back, but nothing too extreme. So we're not all the way here where we're dramatically indenting the back, nor are we here where the back is rounded. Subtle indentation in the lower back is going to be the most natural or neutral position, allowing pelvis to be in the most optimal position. Flex your feet, firm your thighs, roll the thighs towards each other a little bit, pushing the backs of your heels down and out, almost like you're going to try to pull your heels apart while your thighs roll in. You could stay here or bring hands forward, inhale. Navel to spine as you start to fold, exhale. If that feels possible, draping torso over legs here in Paschimottanasana. Inhale and expand the ribs 360 degrees. Exhale, picture the outer waist pulling to midline, navel towards spine. Now again, inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, narrowing in. One more breath like that, inhale. And collect and gather the muscles at the center of the body, exhale. Lengthen spine, inhale. Come all the way up, exhale. If you've got your block or something similar, We're going to use it between the thighs again, but we're going to bend the knees to bring the feet roughly where your knees were. Feet hip width, toes straight ahead, block between the thighs. Hands are going to come behind you with about 6 to 8 inches between the fingertips and the buttocks, fingers pointed straight ahead, or they can turn slightly out to the sides away from each other. Bend your elbows a little bit and tuck the tailbone just slightly, feeling as though you're bringing pelvis towards a neutral position. Inhale and lift your pelvis. Hug your thighs into the prop. Exhale, navel to spine. Head can stay neutral or lifted here, or you can release your head back. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhale, picture outer waist pulling the midline, navel pulling the spine. Again, inhale, expand the ribs 360 degrees. Exhale, pelvic floor engages, hug your thighs in, draw your navel in. One more like that, inhale. And exhale, engage. Gently release the pelvis down, inhale, and remove the block if you're using it, exhale. Feet can step together now, knees stand up, inhale. Left arm around the legs, right hand behind you, twist to the right, exhale, look over your right shoulder. Take a moment here, breathing in. And breathing out. And gently come to center, inhale. Right hand around the legs, left hand behind you, exhale, take a twist to your left. Breathing in. And breathing out. Nice mindful breath. Another inhale. And exhale. Gently unwind, inhale, and prepare to roll down to your back, exhale. If you've got your prop again, we're going to use the block or similar under the pelvis now. So lifting the pelvis, slide that prop underneath. You're in a supported bridge once you've got the prop under there. See if you can tuck the tailbone slightly like you were going to try to press your lower back towards the floor. Feel how that engages the abdominal muscles. And try to keep a little bit of that engagement as you inhale and maybe extend your left leg straight out. So we're looking to stretch the front of the left hip flexor muscles, reaching the heel forward, exhale. You could stay like this or hug your right knee in. Inhale, let your ribs expand. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. Thrust the left heel forward as the right thigh comes in. And again, like that, inhale. And gathering the center of the body, exhale, navel to spine. One more. And exhale. Right foot returns to the mat, left foot returns to the mat. Tuck the tailbone, inhale, send your right leg straight, flex the foot and reach the heel forward. Look for a stretch in the front of your hip. Staying here, or draw left knee and exhale. Inhale, ribs expand. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor engages. Inhale, ribs expand 360 degrees. Exhale, navel to spine, pelvic floor pulls up. One more inhale. Collect and gather muscles in the center, exhale. Left foot down, inhale, and right foot down, exhale. When you're ready, remove the prop from under you, inhale. Knees can pull in one more time, exhale. You're setting yourself up for Shavasana or resting pose. The legs can extend out straight. The arms can rest alongside the body. If that is not comfortable for you, you may like some support under the backs of the thighs. If you've got a pillow nearby, great. A rolled up blanket can go under there, or even the two blocks in a pinch, if that's all you have near you. Soft bend in the knees should help the pelvis to be in a more neutral position so that hopefully your lower back does not feel compressed. When you close your eyes, you can release the control over your breath and let your body just relax into the surface beneath. Soften the toes, the feet, the ankles, all the way up your legs into your hips. Soften your fingers, your hands, your wrists, and all the way up your arms into your shoulders. Soften your pelvis, your belly, your chest, your back, and all the way up your spine into your neck. Soften your jaw, the corners of your mouth, and your cheeks. Soften your temples, the corners of your eyes, and your eyelids. Soften your eyebrows, your forehead, and your scalp. Each exhale, allowing you to release something else. Allowing you to surrender even more deeply. Allowing you to let go of anything you don't need to hold. As you're ready, take a deep breath in, picturing you're inviting in an equality that feels good to you, that could be of value, that can support you and inspire you. And a long breath out. And when you're ready, finding a little bit of movement, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and eventually bending your knees. You can roll or shift over to your side and just take a moment. Feel free to hold with you anything that will continue to support and inspire you, guide you through your day. As you press your way up to a comfortable seat, you can bring the hands in front of the heart, honoring anything or anyone, expressing gratitude. Together, we honor this practice of yoga and honor the light and spirit in each other. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.